Since we've last spoke on Thursday, we have unfortunately lost even more Calgarians to the COVID-19 disease, to the coronavirus. We now have 92 of our families, our neighbors, our loved ones who we've lost to this virus. And I know that as we go through change, as we start to ease restrictions, that Calgarians continue to show that they understand the very serious nature of what we're dealing with today. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over, or maybe I'm not. Yeah, okay. I'm going to turn it over to Tom Sampson, Chief of the Calgary Emergency Management Agency, who's going to get into some specifics about the long weekend, and then I will come back with a number of bits of news. Tom?
Thank you, Mayor Nenshi. Uh, Thanks for being with us today. And just want to remind you that we remain under a state of local emergency, and that state of local emergency will be renewed today, again, for another period of time. So let's just go through a couple of issues if we can. Outdoor gatherings have been moved to 50 people now, and that's a new number for us. As you know, the health orders were amended on Friday afternoon late, and so we did have a little bit of a challenge with the communications to get outdoor gatherings limited to 50 people. Please remember that while there's a slight increase in the capacity to get outside, um, we must remain careful to take that space from each other. Now is the time, not the time for large gatherings, and it can put others at risk. I'm asking you to continue with your relatively small circle, and there'll be times that we can gather as a larger group. So indoor gatherings still remain at a maximum of 15 people, and physical distancing is still 2 meters. So really we need a triad, a triangle of things. So the first is, we've been saying it right from the start, wash your hands, cover your cough, catch your sneeze, those sorts of things, right? That's one. 2 meters of distancing. And when you can't do the 2 meters of distancing, put on a mask. That's the best way to protect yourself from others and others from yourself. Over the weekend, I'd have to say that Calgarians did quite well. I mean, they got a passing grade, a C plus, and I'm reminded of those report cards that I had that said, it's a good mark, but we could have done better. And so I'd say that to you. I'm proud of the work that we did overall. I think it's good, but again, more effort is required. Our colleagues in bylaw investigated reports of social distancing of groups under 50 people. And then the Calgary Police Service did any groups greater than 50 people. There were 77 incidences related to concerns about folks not following the public health order, including physical distancing and using a playground when it was closed. Our peace officers conducted 279 visible patrols, and our colleagues in bylaw experienced a high degree of cooperation from the public. You really were good, and we thank you for moving apart when you were asked to do so. We spent a lot of time at, in Bowness Skate Park, the New Brighton Skate Park, Stanley Park, the Eau Claire Promenade, Nose Hill off-leash area, and the Sue Higgins off-leash area, and Edworthy Park. So just to flip for a second, I want to talk about the skateboarders. They were abiding by the rules, and so we really thank them for that. That's great effort, and we were concerned that we'd have to close skate parks. We don't think we have to do that now. You've been doing a great job. We would ask parents that are allowing their kids to use the skateboard park as a bit of a playground, younger kids, that's a bad idea. First off, running into skaters sort of thing, that can happen. But also there's a reason why we've closed those playgrounds, and that's to stop the transmission. So parents, if you could help us with that, obviously we'd be appreciated. Let me run through some of the stats on the weekend. There were 135 warnings issued to members of the public for public health violations. No tickets issued. 5 tickets were handed out for drinking alcohol in the park. This past weekend, the Joint Business Inspection Task Force received 43 calls for COVID-related problems. This brings the total up to 719 calls since the beginning of the SOL being announced in mid-March, the state of local emergency. 107 businesses were in compliance with the public health order. Were in compliance to the public health order. However, the task force found 13 locations not adhering to physical distancing, and each were issued a warning. 2 violation tickets were issued. Both were massage businesses operating when they should not be. Fines were issued under the business license bylaw for $1,000 each. Businesses found operating in contravention of the Public Health Act could face multiple fines, suspension, or revocation of their business license, coupled with charges under the Public Health Act. So citizens are encouraged to report complaints so that our peace officers may investigate things quickly. I want to emphasize the great job our peace officers are doing out there. There's been a little bit of confusion over the weekend. Things changed rather suddenly for Calgary on the 14th, the 13th and 14th about who was going to be open and who was not. There was some changes made to the size of the crowds late on Friday. And so Calgarians may not have been completely up to speed, but my accolades go out to the peace officers for going back to educating people a little bit more, a little bit less writing tickets, because they saw people respond extremely well. With respect to some of the plus 15s in the downtown core, we're getting some indications from business that they want to open them. And what we're trying to do is coordinate between the businesses so that both people at the end of the plus 15s are well organized if the plus 15 opens. Certainly we'll be working with the Chamber of Commerce, the roads, and the Building Owners and Managers Association to try and get a smooth reopening of plus 15s at the appropriate time. You will be able to check the web, calgary.ca, and understand exactly what is and is not open with respect to the downtown core. Let's talk a little bit about golf. Nothing I got to do this weekend, but talking about golf, as many of you know, Thursday we opened the city's public golf courses. Shaganappi, Maple Ridge, and McCall Lake golf course were all open. Congratulations to the golf staff that kind of ran fairly quickly to get all of that done. Golf Operations has heard that on-course golfers were excellent at maintaining the distancing and actually no reported problems from that perspective. As of this morning, 4,198 people had played golf since we opened, and another 5,800 had bookings to play golf coming up shortly. So that's great numbers, and congratulations to all of those involved. The golf courses will stay open as long as people continue to maintain the health and safety requirements of the course. And I really appreciate, if I can just throw out there, the Golf Association has done some work on what those standards are, and golfers are maintaining them, but so too are golf course operations. A blue card update, if I can change subjects one more time. Due to the COVID-19 outbreak at Cascade, I always say it wrong, Your Worship, but Cascade. Cascade. I'll get it. I apologize for that. We suspended operations there, and that's meant that everything picked up since last Wednesday had to be taken to the landfill. I got to tell you, that's hard on our staff because they take pride in the fact that they recycle and that they play their part in the community. But we had to do a couple of things. First, we had to make sure the staff there were safe. We've had Alberta Health Services investigators in there. They've done their work. They've cleaned the facility actually twice now, and we think it's ready to go. So it's back up and operating, running at about 50%. So while we might be able to collect your bins for you, or we will be able to collect your bins for you this week, it's not impossible that some of those bins will have to go to the waste landfill site because we're just not up to full operation. You do have some control in this, in the sense that you can choose to hold back some of your recycled goods and then put it in next week. We're doing our very best, and I can tell you that we are just as committed as you who recycle are at making sure this practice goes forward. Our thanks to Cascade as a partner, their contractor with the City of Calgary, and for the great work that they've done to try and manage the outbreak and take the appropriate steps for the employees involved. We do apologize to Calgarians for the inconvenience. We know that we'll get up on our feet again, but we had to take the right steps in order to protect staff, and that meant being down for a bit. So with that said, I'll pass over to His Worship the Mayor and let him fill in the rest of the cases. Your Worship.
Thanks very much, Tom. You know, I'm still getting used to my new pickup dates for my bins, and today being the day after the long weekend, I might have completely forgotten to put my bins out, but I feel good about the fact that I forgot, because if you do have the room to store your recyclables for another week, please do so as the Cascade facility comes back up again. So as I mentioned earlier, since we spoke on Thursday, we've lost 8 more people in Calgary. So this virus really has not gone away. But as Tom said, he's a tough grader, eh? C plus. But Calgarians, most Calgarians were quite responsible over the weekend, and I know that with that beautiful weather, I think it's the first Victoria Day long weekend I can remember that it didn't rain or snow. That the temptation to have big backyard barbecues, to have friends over, fire pits, and so on was huge. And thank you for responding as well as you did to that. After I heard Dr. Henshaw on Friday afternoon, I did something that I haven't done for a long time, which is I actually had dinner with my family in the backyard with our own food, many, many meters apart. But it was a nice thing to be able to do. And those are the key issues: social distancing, outdoors, don't share food and drink, to be able to try and build some of those ties back up again. I'll also tell you that I thought it would be brilliant to set up a projector outside and be able to watch a movie with my nieces. And I am so incredibly inept that by the time we got the whole thing set up, it started to rain. But at least we know something that we'll try later in the summer. I do want to talk about businesses. Just before the long weekend, we got the news that restaurants would not be able to open. Well, restaurants and hair salons, but I want to talk about restaurants, would not be able to open for the long weekend. And we reached out to do something that your city government rarely does, which is encourage you to eat a lot. And in fact, if you have the means to order curbside pickup and delivery from local restaurants, again, always better to contact the restaurant first, either by phone or their website, rather than to go through an app. More money stays in the restaurant's pocket that way. And I just want to say thank you to all the Calgarians that responded. We saw a huge uptick in the use of the support local YYC hashtag over the weekend, with restaurant takeout and delivery being the top theme. That hashtag has been used almost 10,000 times now over the course of the pandemic. And here's a little tidbit: according to Twitter Canada, Calgary is the top city in Canada for use of the hashtag support local in March and April. So thank you so much for doing that. And I've heard from a lot of businesses that social media traction really did help restaurants over this weekend get rid of some of the excess food that they've ordered. And that food's still there. So please continue to do that. Hey, it's Taco Tuesday today, Takeout Wednesday tomorrow. So if you are able to, please continue to support those businesses. And a huge thank you to all of the Calgarians that have been doing that. So May 25th isn't very far from now. And as that date is swiftly approaching, I know there are businesses in Calgary that are eyeing that date. Our best understanding from the province is that that is not an aspirational date. So unless something really horrible happens in the next few days, that is the date that you will actually see restaurants and hair salons opening. And I just want to recap some of the things the city is doing for those businesses. Patios is one of my favorite things. We made it easier for restaurants to have temporary patios in places where we might not have allowed a patio before. Really just to allow them to increase their capacity, more outdoor seating, a little bit safer, so that they can make some money, perhaps at operating at 50% capacity. So if businesses are interested, that information is available at calgary.ca/COVID-business. We have lots of frequently asked questions there, lots of guidelines for different kinds of businesses. We'll continue to add with them. We also have someone who we call a case manager. So if you're a business that wants to pivot, to change your operations to better manage what's happening with COVID, we'll offer you a single point of contact, a case manager who can quickly answer your questions, who can quickly tell you, well, that's a great idea, or you know what, that idea is not going to work. If you're thinking of changing your business model. And to make an inquiry or ask about business adjustments, just email covidbusinessrelief@calgary.ca. covidbusinessrelief@calgary.ca. And thanks again to all the businesses working on our business sector support task force. So when I was having my physically distanced dinner with my nieces, my niece, who is going into grade 12, was asking me my thoughts on summer jobs. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about the work of the City of Calgary Youth Employment Centre, who are doing a really great job in really weird times helping students look for summer jobs. As you know, like everywhere, the Youth Employment Centre had to close its doors in mid-March, and the pandemic canceled one of the highlights of the year, which is our youth hiring fair, because usually thousands of students connect with jobs at that one place. And so having to cancel that fair was really tough on my colleagues at the Youth Employment Centre, but they carried on. They've been working from home. They've been answering calls from youth who are looking for work. They're helping youth look for jobs, apply for them, help them prepare for interviews. We have lots of new clients, and the demand remains steady. And interestingly, employers continue to reach out at pre-COVID levels for assistance in recruiting young people. We made 125 client referrals already in the month of May, and consulted with clients over 3,500 times. So if you are a young person aged between 15 and 24, and you're interested in finding a summer job, you can visit calgary.ca/YEC, that's Youth Employment Center, to connect to book a remote appointment. As for post-secondary students more generally, our colleagues at Calgary Economic Development are also really working to support employment for these. Lots of businesses need to innovate, they need to adapt, they need fresh new ideas, and where better to find those than among our city's post-secondary students. So Calgary Economic Development has also launched a new website called YYC Student Connection. If you're a student who is looking for practical work experience in your field of study, visit the site, post your profile. If you're a business that might want to hire a student, show your opportunity on the site and connect with students who can assist you in a volunteer or paid capacity. That site is connectingyyc.com/students. In non-COVID but kind of COVID news, I want to acknowledge an important anniversary today. 15 years ago, May 18th, 2005, the City of Calgary became the first city in Canada to launch 311, our 311 Operations Centre. And ever since then, for 15 years, 311 staff have been on call 24/7, 365 to initiate requests for city services and to answer your questions. Now, sometimes when I think of 311, I think of their response to big and small disasters like the 2013 flood or Snowtember in 2014, which, by the way, were the call records. The flood was the most calls in a month, and Snowtember was the most calls in a single day, 28,000 calls in one day. And 311 is not just a phone number. I recommend phoning because the people are great and brilliant that you can talk to. But you can also, there are online services. There are 229 different online services. And just before the flood in 2013, we were one of the first cities in North America to launch a 311 app. The 311 Calgary app is awesome. You can use it on your smartphone. You can take a picture of the thing that you're concerned about. It'll peg the map and it goes off to 311 for those of you like me who are scared to talk to people on the phone. It is great. In the year we launched it, we received honorable mention in the innovation category at the Alberta Awards for Municipal Excellence. In 2016, 311 Calgary won the Synergy Award of Excellence for 311 call centers in North America. And we've done lots of innovations ever since. A major upgrade to the system in 2017, allowing the workers to work a little more remotely, work a little better. And in 2019, the Live Maps initiative, which was outstanding and won another Alberta Award for Municipal Excellence. So here's a number for you. 16 million calls to 311 over 15 years, which I think is extraordinary. And I got to tell you, I look at the 311 data and dashboards a few times a week to just understand what people are concerned about, what they're calling about. It's being used throughout the organization for strategic and operational decision making. 93% of citizens in our last citizen satisfaction survey are satisfied with 311. So through wind, rain, snow, flood, fire, and even a pandemic, 311 operators have always been there for us. And I just want to give thanks and recognize the extraordinary people at 311, whether it's the agent on the phone, the staff that configure the service requests, the staff that train city employees to use the system, the measurement analysts who take the data and turn it into something meaningful for me and decision makers at the city, the coordinators, the admin staff, and of course, all the city's colleagues who respond to the 311 service request when they're sent that way. I just want to say thank you to all of you. Well done. Congratulations on 15 years of service. So my final thing before we go to questions is I want to remind people what I said on Thursday. There are a lot of people with lots of different opinions right now. Tensions are running high. Frustration is running high. In some cases, tempers are running high. And I just want to remind people right now of all the things I talk about: clean hands, clear heads, open hearts, stay safe, be kind. Together we'll save lives. I want to remind you about be kind. Be kind to those businesses that are legally allowed to open. It was a tough decision for them. And ultimately, they decided they had to worry about the livelihood of their staff. They had to go back to doing what they love. Be kind to those businesses that choose not to open. They've thought about it a lot. Shout out to our friends at Prairie Dog Brewing, who have written a 50-page, I think, blog post explaining all the reasons for their decisions around their business and really giving a very opening a lot of people's eyes to how difficult it is to work in the food service industries these days. Be kind to folks. They've been thinking about their own livelihoods and their own lives and whether or not they're willing to open. Be kind to those who need to get out. Be kind to those who think it's way too early to get out and want to stay home. So be kind, wear a mask, practice social distancing, and together we will continue to save lives. So with that, let us go to the questions. Operator, put through the first question, please.
First is Scott Dipple with CBC Calgary. Go ahead, Scott.
Hi, Mayor. Just wondering if you can explain a bit of the timetable in terms of the Cascade facility coming back up, and can you just outline a picture of why people or why the city cannot store some of that material to get it to the facility in time, in days ahead?
Sure, I'll turn to Tom if I get any of this wrong. But we had to shut down the facility completely over the long weekend. And that is a facility that runs in real time. So you have to imagine the quantity of recycling that comes in every single day. And this is everything, right? Remember how many shipping containers we needed just for the berry clamshells when we were having trouble with those? So there is a very limited storage capacity because this thing works in real time. So we were able to store things over a number of days, and then we ran out of storage capacity on Wednesday. Now that we're back up at 50% capacity, we should be able to accept people's recycling. But again, just so that the facility can get back up to full speed, and just so they're not overwhelmed, if you do have room in your garage or in your backyard, or if your bin's not full, the recycling doesn't rot. So hold it back for another week and we'll be in good shape. We will collect it all, however. I'm just hoping that we won't have to landfill anymore. Does that answer your question?
Just a quick follow-up in terms of when it's projected it will be back up to 100% capacity?
Probably about a week's time. Remember that we've got to bring people back. Some people have to isolate because they were in close contact with with people who actually tested positive. So probably about a week to get to 100%, slow ramp up over the course of the next few days. All right, next question, please.
Can I ask you just one other question?
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Scott.
Oh, just to follow up on your comments, can you just give us a sense of what the interest has been in the pop-up patios from businesses as they prepare, hopefully, to relaunch next week?
I actually don't know the answer to that question yet. I will find out and give you an answer to that on Thursday.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next question, please.
Next is Kevin Nimick with CTV. Go ahead, Kevin.
Hi, Mayor. I'm wondering about delivery fees for restaurants. You've spoken in the past a few times about some restaurants preferring not to use Skip the Dishes, for example. Some municipalities have mulled over voting in a cap for what these Skip the Dishes, DoorDash type companies can charge restaurants, let's say 15%. Is that something that our city council would consider?
I'm not convinced that we actually have the powers to do that under the Municipal Government Act. Look, I'm a free market guy, and I prefer to let the market sort itself out before we have to engage in all of this. But really, the right way to do that is for customers to manage that. So as I say, best thing to do, phone the restaurant or go directly to their website. If you can pick up rather than get delivery, even if they're offering free delivery, that's always a bit better. But ultimately, the restaurant will tell you, we have a partnership with Skip the Dishes or Uber Eats or DoorDash or Foodora or whoever. and we would prefer you use them. Just let the restaurant make that choice for you, and they will certainly help out. You know, some of the bigger chains are saying use Skip the Dishes or use Uber Eats. Also, totally fine. Just contact the restaurant first. Easy as that. Follow up.
But do you think, maybe more generally, it is a problem for these businesses outside of the pandemic, though, that they have to give up so much of their profit to these large conglomerates, the Skip the Dishes, the DoorDashes of the world? In some cases, 30% on a sale.
Yeah, you know, I think that ultimately, when you get sort of disruptive services like this, they can be very, very useful. But it does take a while to shake out. So I know before the pandemic, there were 2 or 3 different local companies starting their own apps with much lower commission rates. And I believe that this stuff will end up sorting itself out. I think most people don't know just how much these apps do take. There's a really good video that was done by a restaurateur in Edmonton about 6 weeks ago at the beginning of all of this, where he completely highlights on a blackboard all of his costs. And I think most people who saw that were pretty surprised. And so if your goal is to support those restaurants through difficult times, as I say, just talk to the restaurant first. All right, next question, please.
Thank you.
Next is Blake Loff with Global. Go ahead, Blake.
Hi there. Wondering if you could provide any more information on the violations that were handed out to, I think you said 2 massage parlors. Could you expand on that? And is that those violations that are handed out by the Business Inspection Task Force, are those made public?
I do. I'll turn over to Tom for most of the answers to that. I will just highlight that both massage therapy and what we call in our bylaw body rub practitioners are not currently allowed to open. Those are actually part of stage 2, which will not happen for some time yet. So whatever kind of businesses we see that are operating outside of their ability to be open, they will get a talking to. They'll probably get a closure order as well. And I do know in this case, I do know we don't use the term massage parlor, but I do know of these 2 establishments that were ticketed because frankly they're just not allowed to operate. And I don't know, Tom, do we have any more to say about that or who they are? If we find out, we'll put a release out. I feel like I've seen the names. I just don't know if they're publicly available. Okay. Okay. So we'll get that out as soon as we can, Blake. Follow up?
No, that was kind of why I brought it up, was because I didn't think they were allowed to open yet.
They're absolutely not. It's actually an interesting question because in many places, RMTs, so registered massage therapists, as opposed to what we call in our bylaw body rub practitioners. It's a bit icky every time I say it. But the registered massage therapists were allowed to go at the same time as, say, physiotherapists and chiropractors. In Alberta, they have been pushed to stage 2, but I know that there is a bit of a lobby saying, look, we're providing a real medical service. You should move us up, but they have not yet been moved up. All right, next question, please.
Next question, we have Scott Dipple with CBC Calgary again.
You again?
Go ahead, Scott.
Me again, Mayor. Just a quick question for you regarding any response on the news that we heard over the weekend about the potential of the American government of the future, maybe canceling the Keystone XL pipeline. How do you think that would impact Calgary's economy?
Oh, it's a terrible idea. I think that regardless of what political party you support or what your beliefs are, there is such a thing as rule of law. And you cannot tell a company, well, first you can't do it, now you can do it, now you spent billions of dollars doing it, you're well under construction, and then we're going to revoke the permit. I think that's ridiculous. I think that the company has, in good faith, done an enormous amount of work in building this thing, and it deserves to be built. And as the Deputy Prime Minister's office said, it also fits within Canada's climate goals. So ultimately, it's an important project, not just for Calgary, and it is an important project for Calgary, but it's an important project for energy sufficiency. It's an important project to achieve our climate goals as we move forward. And so I would be very disappointed to see that go away after billions of dollars have been spent on construction and getting it ready for operations. It feels very late in the game now. All right, are there any other questions in the queue, operator?
Not at this time, no.
All right, so we'll wrap it up there today. Thanks, everybody. And we will see you again on Thursday. Remember, even more important than before, clean hands. Wash your hands, cough into your elbow, try not to spread the virus. Act as though you already have it and you're not spreading it. Wear a mask if there are strangers near you. That sounds weird. If there are people you don't know, download the contact tracing app. Keep it running. These things really matter as we're starting to ease restrictions. Clear heads. Every decision you make, put a COVID filter on it. Make sure you're doing what's right for you, for your family, and for the community. And ultimately, open hearts. It's been 9 weeks now since people have been able to visit their relatives in long-term care centers, for example. Make sure you're reaching out. Make sure that people who are alone know that they're not truly alone, that they live in a community that cares about them. So stay safe, be kind, and together we'll continue to save lives.